name is Grace Chow, and I have been here since 1970
1970, okay, in Chinatown.
in Chinatown. At that time, my husband practiced in Chinatown.
Okay. Your husband, who was a doctor, practiced in
It's a
Chinatown.
family decision.
Okay.
And my name is Amy, so I'm her daughter. And so we've been here. We immigrated here in 1968, and my dad opened a practice here in 1970, before this building was built. And he's been here, since he practiced until he passed away in 1989. So he's been here a while. And then I'm a dentist, and I kind of took over the spot upstairs.
Can you tell me about the actual building itself, some of the design elements, or some of the decisions you made in how it was constructed?
Yeah, it used to be a house here, so we tried to maximize the amount of space. And so we have an architect, and he tried to put in some Asian motifs to some, the roof line is supposed to remind us, of the buildings in China. So he used brick, which is a more conservative, to make it a bit more classy. And then the signs, we try to put some Asian motifs in there as well, and just to try to blend in with it.
And what do you think that this building means for Chinatown? What kind of meaning do you think it brings for Chinatown? How does it bring people together in Chinatown?
Well, because of the medical practice, my dad was serving people, Chinese community, not just in Chinatown, but around the city as well. And so, but it's always nice to have a practice here because people don't have to go far. And then I opened my practice about 1990, and I've been serving the community here as well. So it's good. The building has restaurants. It brings in all types of people, not just the Chinese community, but people around town. So
it's just the two interesting things, Amy, give me just a breakdown of what businesses are on each floor and how many floors are in the building.
And there's basically 4 if you include the basement. And my dental office is up in the 3rd floor. It's always been there since 1990 when the building was built. The middle floor is a beauty salon, and the main floor and the ground floor is the restaurant. It's always been a restaurant. And down here, we're in the basement, what we can see outside is the Muse Coffee House with a bakery. So this my husband Peter, he runs the place.
So it's really like a family business in a way. It's such a family business because I see both of your mothers in the background being camera shy, but daughter, husband, sister-in-law, all working together for this business, for not even just this business, but 3 floors of businesses in a way, right?
Yeah.
So tell me when this building was built.
Oh, it's the start 1980 something, but finished 1990. I remember on that day. But and then the building in Chinatown, the people like the new building very much at that time, all full occupied. And the people, the first thing, the people like Chinese have the Chinese doctor in Chinatown.
And your husband was the Chinese doctor in Chinatown,
Chinatown.
right?
It's the first one, the doctor in China.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about your family's history in Chinatown and with this building.
Oh, you mean the history? Because of when we decide to build and not finished 1 year before my husband passed away, and then 1990 and then finished. So at that time, my daughter is the first daughter in the is the pharmacist secretary in Edmonton, and Amy is a dentist, also finished his dentist staff practice in outside some office, not in this building.
So since at that time because the interest was very high, the building they make me very difficult to continue to keep it. So after that, and then I asked my daughter Amy help me, and then he owned half of the dam, and then we both continue keep the building. It's very difficult at that time.
You had mentioned what was here before the new building was built. What was
Chinatown
in
like?
place? Yeah, what was Chinatown like?
Well, we immigrated in 1968, and I was very small at that time, and actually Chinatown at that time is more like a small neighborhood place. There was a grocery store, and then I would go there to buy my candy or whatever, and there are lots of houses. All those high rise on the other side are not there. They're just row houses by houses, just like this one, but it's just rows of it. And people would live there. They rent, and then they work in Chinatown, or a lot of them are Chinese that live there. So really, it's like a small community. And there were some restaurant at the time, a few. There's Linda May's and some older one, but mainly it's just like a small community, not a very commercialized at that time. And so my dad came 68. He went to do his residency program at the Calgary General before it's torn down, and then he rented the place to decide to open a practice here because there's no Chinese doctor in Chinatown at that time. So he eventually he bought the property from one of his patients, Mr. Poon, who's very very nice of him to sell the building. And then after that, in the 80s, then my parents decided to build a new building there, because this is quite old, but it's has its character as well. I remember the old days. They have a stair going upstairs, very quickly sound, and then going up, we hear all kinds of noises because it's an old building. It's kind of scary because I was small. But anyway, so now after my dad passed away, I moved upstairs and I opened my practice there. So it's kind of he's been there for the longest time, but as my mom said, he passed away unfortunately just before the building was finished, so he never saw the finished building. And so after it's finished, then I moved in, because I graduated in 86, and I worked a few years elsewhere as a dentist before I opened my practice here. So, and I've been here since, so it's been a long time.
So this is the sign for Raymond's practice, right?
Yeah.
And that's the old silver dragon right here.
Yeah. It was built just before that. It's quite new at that time. In the 80s.
And I know you mentioned that on this side alleyway here, there was a taxi cab stand, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday I heard it was called China Cab.
I don't know what it is called.
So this is actually where we are now, in the
parking.
basement.
Yes. The city require you set back so many feet, so when the building comes back out. So it's just a lot of.
So on the basement level and ground floor, it's set back in, but then you have like an overhang on the second and third story to compensate for this setback. That's cool. That's like just small little interesting detail. Yeah. Main floor. So this is the restaurant currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the whole main floor there.
Oh wait, second floor, a typical floor plan, which is probably your floor is like this, right?
Yes.
So if I were to look from here, basically Silver Dragon is right here,
yes,
right? And outside where you have that signage on the wall is right here.
The door, the main entrance is right over here. Yes.
Was there also any reason for this kind of nice cut here?
I think it's the
diagonal?
architect. He just wanted certain elements into it. So it's quite nice. I don't think he wanted a really square looking. Because it is a corner. It's you can see it. So it's nice. I kind of like that feature better than a really sharp corner.
Do you have a nice view from the roof?
From the roof, yes. Too many people go up to the roof, but you can get a really nice view of that.
Oh, really? Can we go up there later?
Oh, yeah.
Just for a second? Yeah.